Carlos King and the show Love and Marriage, Huntsville. There's been a lot of talk about how Carlos seems worried that the show might not survive without Melody. If you've been watching, you know that Melody has been a key part of the show. And some fans think without her, the whole thing could fall apart. People have been saying Melody won't even consider coming back. And honestly, it seems like she's way above all the mess going on with the rest of the cast. They keep dragging her name through the mud even when she's not on the show, which shows just how important she really is. Now, a lot of the drama revolves around Melody's past relationship with Martel Holt. Some say Melody is too classy to deal with the hood boogers on the show anymore. And honestly, there's been a lot of heat on Martel himself. He's been called out for not being able to handle his responsibilities, especially when it comes to passing bills and being a reliable man. The way people are talking, it seems like Melody made the right choice by walking away. She wanted love and kids, but Martel just wasn't the right man for that. There's even more tension when Martel is accused of messing around with another woman, which adds fuel to the fire. On the other side, you've got Carlos King and his crew trying to navigate this mess while keeping the show alive. Carlos has had some good conversations with Dustin and Claudia, especially about the interview Chantel Christie did and the whole Love and Marriage, Huntsville cast drama. Claudia H. really stood out in these talks, especially when she called out Marsau for being chauvinistic and narcissistic. She wasn't afraid to tell him that women aren't masculine just because they have opinions. That part really hit home because it highlights how some men on the show just don't get what it means to be a strong, confident woman. Claudia also talked about how men want their women to be feminine, but expect them to do everything: pay bills, raise kids, keep the house while still being feminine. That's a lot to ask, and honestly, it doesn't make sense. Women end up having to be superheroes, doing everything because the men aren't stepping up. Claudia's take really opened eyes because she wasn't just throwing shade. She was pointing out a real problem we see on the show and in real life. Another important part of the conversation was about Marsau's attitude towards women aging and settling for less. He tried to tell Claudia she should lower her standards when she's not in her prime, which was so disrespectful. But Claudia shut that down hard. She reminded everyone that real power doesn't need to be shouted. It's quiet and confident. That's why strong women like Claudia don't settle for less or put up with men who don't respect them. And honestly, that message goes beyond the show. It's about respect and self-worth for all women. Now, going back to Carlos King, he's also been involved in some of the community drama on YouTube. People have had mixed feelings about the way some content creators, like Empress Radio and True Tea, handle smaller creators or other fans. There's been talk about jealousy, subscriber counts, and even accusations of bullying and toxicity. It's a whole mess, but Carlos seems to be trying to bring some real talk into the conversation, especially when it comes to how masculinity and femininity play out in relationships. Speaking of masculinity, Dustin jumped in on the chat with Carlos and Claudia, agreeing that a woman shouldn't have to fall back just because a man is around. It's about balance and respect. Marsau tried to push this idea that women should be more reserved and let men be the man, but everyone on the panel wasn't having it. The truth is, the dating world is full of men who feel threatened by confident women. And it's causing a lot of the issues we see in the show and beyond. Melody's absence is felt because she represents a different kind of woman. One who knows her worth and won't settle for less. Martel's behavior has made it clear that he's not the man she deserves. And the rest of the cast, well, some of them keep stirring the pot instead of stepping up. Carlos King seems to be aware of this and is trying to keep things together. But the question remains, can Love and Marriage Huntsville survive without Melody? If you want to understand all the layers of this drama, stick around because I'm going to break down even more details from the cast's conversations, the fans' reactions, and what might be next for the show. Trust me, you don't want to miss the parts where Claudia and Carlos really call things out. and where we see how masculinity and femininity are playing a huge role in the cast's personal lives. So make sure you watch till the end, because there's a lot more to unpack about Martell, Melody, Carlos, Claudia, Dustin, and even Marsau. The show is full of drama, but it's also full of lessons about respect, relationships, and knowing your worth. Don't go anywhere because we're just getting started and the tea is piping hot. Let's get into it. The chemistry and tension between the cast members themselves are a huge part of what makes Love and Marriage Huntsville interesting. Martell's drama with Melody and now Arian, Kay, Moro's power struggles with Claudia and Lifa. And even Dustin's role in mediating some of these conflicts all add to the complexity. Each person brings a unique flavor to the mix, but the absence of Melody leaves a space that no one else has been able to fill fully yet. The show's producers and Carlos King know that if they want to keep fans watching, they need to build new storylines that can capture the same attention and emotion. Otherwise, viewers might start to drift away. Finally, it's important too. Watch how the show evolves after this season. Carlos King and the cast face a big challenge: how to keep Love and Marriage Huntsville fresh, relevant, and true to its roots without Melody Holt. Fans are watching closely, and every move the cast makes will be under the microscope. Whether it's addressing relationship problems head-on, bringing in new cast members, or shifting the focus to different storylines. The future of the show depends on how well they adapt. But one thing is clear: the legacy Melody built on the show won't be forgotten anytime soon. So make sure you stay tuned and watch every episode, because the drama is far from over. And the next chapters could surprise us all.